Honorable James.
Thank you so much, Jay. It feels like we've been in a CCMA hearing all day today. Do you agree with me, sir?
I agree.
Yeah. Let's get back to the matters pertaining to the Adhoc committee.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Phahlane, Mr. McBride alleged before this committee that you received kickbacks from service providers contracted to SAPS. So today I'd just like to seek some clarity. You heard that, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those, you know why we actually brought you here? Because when they said they were plotting against a general, we thought, no ways, we have to hear from you. Mm-hmm. And we thought that you were unfairly treated. Yeah. That's why you came here today. Mm-hmm. But now we've seen a different side. But anyway, while serving in SAPS, did you at any stage have direct or indirect contact with any SAPS service provider outside formal procurement, contractual or operational processes?
The only service provider I had outside contractual will be criminalistic or crime, crime tech. When I sourced the services from that contractor of an interior designer, it is from that service provider or through that service provider that I procured the music system.
Okay. At any point, did you receive any financial benefit, gift, service of any kind from a service provider contracted to SAPS? Did you get anything out of it?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Okay. You spoke earlier on about visiting Crime Tech. You just confirmed again a SAPS service provider, and that it later transpired that that employer that you mentioned right now of that company assisted in the installation of a very expensive sound system at your residence. You've confirmed that. You've said that, right?
That I confirm.
And that is okay. That is okay for a general to then, take services from a service provider. It's okay. It's allowed at your level.
Honorable Member, if this was using state funds, if I was drawing kickbacks, or if the service provider was doing me favors that I'm not paying for, it will be completely wrong. But I contracted that service provider as an interior designer. And because
you see absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Because it has got, this service provider has never rendered services to the South African Police Service as an interior designer.
But it's a service provider, irrespective of what they do. The fact of the matter is it's a service provider.
But service providers are human beings, and they do business in other areas, okay, in private. So I really, if it is maybe a lapse on my part, I'll admit, but at the time, I did not see anything wrong because I paid for the services that I required.
Okay, sir, so help me out here. Are you aware of the forensic report conducted by CPN?
I'm fully aware.
Right? Which found that SAPS, and in particular, the Forensic Services Division, which you led at the time, right? Now, you said there's nothing wrong, right? So I want to show you. That same company that was rendering services in terms of interior decorating and installing sound systems, right, was overpaid by nearly 500,000.
I'm yet to see that, Honorable Member.
I've got the report here.
Yeah, I'm yet, right. I'm
so
yet
that
to see that.
same company that you just said there's nothing wrong, that same company, after you utilized their services, they were overpaid by 500,000 rand. You've got.
I don't think so.
Does that not strike you as questionable?
No.
Doesn't.
Okay. No. If they were overpaid for services that were not rendered, it is wrong.
You just said now you don't know, but I'm saying to you they were overpaid 500,000.
Honorable Member, first I'm saying I did not know of overpayment. Okay. But if there is overpayment, it will be wrong because no one, irrespective of who they are, irrespective of their proximity, can they be allowed to lay hands on state funds for services that are not rendered.
All right, let's go carry on here. How do you respond to the fact that the same forensic report found that over a period of 3 financial years, payments to Crime Tech, your interior decorator, right, increased by an alarming 134%. So they got work. So it's 500,000, right, overpayment, and now it's 134%
Increase in payments.
in payments.
But if the payments increased and services were rendered,
There's no NADI installation of your sound system.
Sorry?
These things are happening.
no, honorable member, there is these things are separate. I'm saying,
Okay.
and I'm answering you. I'm saying, if there is let's say a huge, let's call it huge increase of the amount you are
So
talking about.
134% increase in payments is not huge, sir.
But honorable member, I just said, if there is a huge increase, like you are talking of 100 and whatever percent, and there were no services rendered for that by that particular service provider, there will be something absolutely wrong. But if those services were rendered, were consumed by the South African Police Service, the products were delivered and they were utilized, which I know they were utilized because it is in that criminal record and crime scene management environment that we were able to reduce the backlogs. We were able to improve performance. We were able to make sure that police clearances are delivered within
Thank you,
6
sir.
days.
Do you also
It can be wrong.
recall, after all of this, do you also recall that an affidavit filed in Pretoria High Court in April 2017, which IPID investigators alleged that you were receiving bags of cash from service providers?
I still, even if they file that report, I still want proof and let that case go to court because there is no such.
So you
It's
don't
a
find
wild allegation.
So, Mr. Phahlane, you don't find it coincidental that you have this contact at a service provider. They install a radio system. Suddenly they have an overpayment of 500,000. They have an increase of payments of 134,000. And then an affidavit gets laid saying that you are collecting bags of cash. And you see absolutely nothing wrong with all these coincidences. Niks fout nie.
Honorable member, I've answered and I'm going to go in the same sequence. I have never seen the overpayment of 500,000. I'm not aware of such. And I confirm that if there is overpayment, it is wrong. You can't overpay for services not rendered. 2, if you talk about 134% increase, if it is in line with the contract delivery and what has been delivered has been utilized, there cannot be anything wrong as long as there is compliance and that which was delivered was not for private use, but it was for use by the police, which I am convinced that those deliveries were for police work, and as a country we derived value out of there. There
Mr.
can be
Phahlane, you know, in Afrikaans they say, jy kan dink wat jy wil, maar jy kan nie sê wat jy wil nie. This is one of those instances.
that is sure.
Yeah.
That is sure.
My last question, sir. This committee is probing patterns of criminal capture and corruption within SAPS, and you occupied some of the most senior and sensitive positions in this organization. Am I right?
Correct.
So with the persistent pattern in which senior officers, the last senior officer that has appeared before us, right, are repeatedly implicated in serious corruption allegations, yet consistently deny any wrongdoing. Everyone that has appeared before us, there's nothing wrong, has detached themselves from any wrongdoing, right? How do you explain and respond to the reality that corruption has become so entrenched within the leadership of SAPS, that even you today face a mountain of allegations?
Honorable member, anyone who is doing anything wrong or found to be doing anything wrong, whether it is me or any other senior manager, the law must take its course. What cannot be is that there are all these baseless allegations that are never supported by anything. I have faced since 2009 allegations after allegations documented in my affidavit. They are yet to be proven. I am before court on 2 matters.
So
The
I don't want to hear about those matters. All that I'm trying to point out here today is the fact that we have a crime tech forensic report and that there are many coincidences.
It's not a crime tech, it's CPN forensic
Yes,
report.
the CPN, sorry.
Yes,
Yes,
CPN forensic
that
report.
highlights the service provider that you were involved with.
For
And
your-
I'm going to leave it there, sir.
No, honorable member.
No, sir, I don't need you to answer anything further. I just needed to point out that every person, every senior SAPS member that has appeared before this committee has distanced themselves from any wrongdoing, but are extremely close to service providers. 500,000 overpayment, 134% increase in payments, later on collecting bags of cash out of a vehicle. I leave it at that. Thank you.
It's a wild goose that you are chasing.
Here's the goose. The goose
It-
is in the form of a forensic report.
Honorable
He is the
member.
yellow goose he saw. Thank you, sir.
No.
You want to comment?
I want to comment, Chair.
You are allowed.
Honorable Chair and honorable member. Anywhere, anyone who has got any evidence of wrongdoing on my part, I must be investigated. And if there is any wrongdoing on my part, I must be brought before court.
Just quickly, I still have time, sir.
Honorable-
The very same report says that crime tech, right, never delivered services on several occasions. Earlier on, you said that this was value for money. And they were dealing-
I was seeing the evidence leader whispering to you, it can't be true. There are no goods which were never
I leave it at
delivered.
that. Thank
There
you,
were no
Chair.
such. And for your information, Chair, I sanctioned that report. I sanctioned that investigation. The letter which I've here directed to the National Commissioner then sanctioned that report. And I'm not aware of the things that are being spoken to. There are no findings to that regard. And I was never implicated by that report.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Shongwe.
Thank you, Chair. Baba Pasan, naphile ka baba.